I need you guys to lock in, alright? The bizarre lore of Plants vs. Zombies. So yesterday, I tried playing Plants vs. Zombies for the first time ever after 17 years. It was a great experience. Now, I want to learn about the lore of this game.
Remained iconic and beloved for years. Throughout that time, though, there has been pieces of a puzzle that, when all connected, create a story that is unbelievable as it is absurd. So join me as I go over everything
I can't believe there's a whole story behind this game. That's kind of crazy.
I could find in this world.
Yeah,
Hi, everybody.
people are like, there's lore behind this game? Yeah, I was so confused, but let's find out.
Here at the farmer's market, if there's anything I love more than buying things here, it's not doing that. I love me some free samples. Just gotta be careful with some of this stuff. I don't want to get any allergic reaction to tree nuts or anything. So I've actually talked about Plants vs. Zombies before when I rambled about how I could eat all the plants. But the story also has a good amount of stuff going on. Plants vs. Zombies takes place most prominently in this location called Neighborville on a version of Earth. Neighborville for sure is on the west coast of North America and at minimum does have some stuff in Vancouver. The biggest challenge in this story is how unhinged everything is. Characters will act purely on instinct, and needless to say, there's points where I need to take a step back and wonder if my younger self would be proud or disappointed we get to this point. Today's story begins like all stories do. The dawn of time. The in-universe government provides a brief rundown of the history of zombies in this universe. It takes exactly 30 minutes for the first zombie to just like pop into existence. Okay then. Just like everything, it just shows up out of nowhere. Now the
You know, there's games that traumatize you from zombies and stuff. I feel like Plants vs. Zombies really like had a light-hearted way of like adding zombies into a game. Do you guys agree with me? I feel like no one was ever scared of the zombies from PvZ.
Zombies aren't like ordinary.
They just look
zombies
so
in this
playful.
case. They're more like an equivalent to humans that can be born and come from the undead. They aren't like a virus hellbent on spreading more like World War Z or something. They're very stupid humans who want to eat brains to get smarter. That's pretty low on the zombie scale. This version of history is basically the same as ours, but not really. We actually do know some important moments in history that revolved around zombies. When Greek engineers invented the catapult in 431 BC, the zombies stole it to launch themselves closer to brains. In 160 BC, Deadus Zombius took over the Roman Empire by eating all of those who opposed him. In 1492 AD, the Pope survived zombies by hiding in a cupboard for a week. In 843 AD, a zombie accidentally became the king of Germany when he worn the crown when he was bored. One time in 1687, the zombies realized sounds like R, and that's when they became pirates. Only to
pirate
change
zombies.
their minds after a year because they all got seasick.
Who is making up all this lore?
In the most recent centuries, zombies mellowed out a bit, finally chilling out, especially in 1921, when they all decided to work in a whoopee cushion factory.
That's why they had the office suit.
The perfect thing to counter zombies in this story were the Vikings because of their metal helmets. Then one day in 1968, this company called Bloom and Doom Seed was started by Barbara Johns, who doesn't really matter. This is hardly acknowledged, but
you know, I always wondered why it said Bloom and Doom Seed Co. And I guess we're actually about to see.
This is a company where all the plants get mass-produced based on hints we've been given, but who's responsible for that? This is Christopher David Blazing III, better known
I thought he was just a crazy neighbor.
is Crazy Dave. He's a funny little freak who's allegedly 36 years old. Just for future reference, I'm gonna
Bro
assume
looks like
the
he's
time
50.
points are the respective release dates of each game. But why is Crazy Dave crazy, you might be asking? Well, we don't know. If I were to guess, it's either because of experiments and his big old brain making him so unhinged, or he got some wacky wild tapeworms from eating food off the ground that's established to be a bad habit of his. One day, somewhere between 30 minutes after the dawn of time and May 4th, 2009, Crazy Dave invented the first ever of these plants, a little pea shooter. He did this for a science fair, winning it, and as a result made a new lifelong nemesis. Now this is Dr. Zomboss, the commander of the modern zombies. He's also the creator of...
I haven't met him yet, so I may have just spoiled myself with the lore, but let's continue.
The zombies throughout the franchise after losing to Davy's little science expedition. His entire life path transitions to
I'm only on chapter 4
because of this specific instance. After 2 years of studying death and stuff, he quickly acquired a doctorate in Thantology. That's the study of dying and stuff. And being freaking
Crazy Dave is the real unk, not me.
At this point, Zomboss figures out how to bring back the dead, thus allowing him to create an uprising. And if you're wondering how or why Zomboss is the only zombie who made the rest of the zombies and why there's not any other ones, we'll get into that, don't you worry. May 5th, 2009, Zomboss says, alright, shit's about to get bananas. I want this guy gone and everyone dead, except for the dead guys. The dead guys are my guys, they can stay. It's a zombie apocalypse. All our lawns are getting invaded.
Oh my gosh.
Not until Dave pops in.
Wait, what game is this from? What game is this animation from?
It's a zombie
That's so
apocalypse.
cool.
All our lawns are getting invaded.
Dude,
and
that looks so
not
realistic.
until Dave pops in and goes, "Ah, don't worry, Chief. That guy kind of sucks at existing. His forehead looks like a cheap stress ball. Here, take my seed. No, not that other kind." Now, of course, Crazy Dave is established to be a little bit cray-cray. He makes you spend a lot of money on survival equipment to start the apocalypse.
Like,
His
bro,
plans are outlandish a lot of the time.
greedy.
But trust me, amigo, he's a chaotic good friend. This is the face of a friend. Take his little seeds, bing bong. Now we got an army. Following
More
this
like a
for the next
scammer.
several days, we're at the mercy of Dave's missions and what he offers to us, what he sells, what plans we get, and rather than go to any part of the world to be zombies, Zomboss is hellbent on ending exclusively Dave's neighbor and wastes his entire army attempting to do so. At the end, Zomboss is about to attack himself. Dave's gonna tell us the weakness. Oh, never mind, he's being held hostage now. Antics ensue, and Zomboss loses to cabbages. They have a temporary treaty and a dance party ending. I don't know if that's copyrighted. I'm not gonna risk it. We have saved the world, but what if I told you during this entire invasion there was another major event going on? See, not a lot of people know this, but there's actually a collection of graphic novels, each with their own Plants vs. Zombies stories. Based on some hints, the first arc, Lawnmageddon, most likely takes place in the initial Neighborville outbreak, so it's also on May 5th, 2009. All of Neighborville's at the mercy of the invasion. Everyone's sad and scared, especially two kids. There's
I didn't know they had a whole comic. Have you guys read it?
There's Patrice Blazing, the niece of Crazy Dave, thus increasing the size of the Crazy Dave family tree. In case you're wondering, yes, Dave's the cool uncle. I mean, look at him. Now, funnily enough, this is the only time when Crazy Dave actually speaks proper English words that everybody understands, but this is gonna get retconned. Based on the format of the story, namely how he disappears for several extended periods, I'm gonna assume that Dave is going back and forth between his niece and neighbor in both of these events to help both groups out with his weaponized flora. This portion of the story ends with Zomboss being defeated before the first game. Then Dave runs back to the house and gets kidnapped, but long story short, now these kids and Zomboss are super duper enemies forever, and this will never change. Now, at minimum, the next arc, Time Apocalypse, has to play out before PvZ2. Not only does Zomboss create a time machine, but so does Crazy Dave. Most of this tale exists to perfectly counteract Zomboss's plans with Crazy Dave's plan. Plants, Egypt, dinosaurs, prehistoric plants, pirates, specifically this one named Captain Chestbeard, who's kind of important. He can time travel too also. The three most important things of note here is that Crazy Dave is a fantastic disco doer. He's schmovin', the good guy gang makes a sun modifier.
Dude, imagine Crazy Dave turns into a zombie one of these days. He's gonna turn into one of those disco guys.
Zomboss loses and gets punched.
You read that comic before?
And weirdly enough, in this series, if a character time travels to an era where
Dang.
they are alive,
So
they
I guess I'm the one living under a rock.
time. For example, Nate and Patrice both become adults when they teleport to the 2020s. By the way, the zombies win in the 2020s. Zomboss takes over in the year 2020. The fact that there's even a chance Zomboss used that one thing 2020 is known for, that's in character. I guess he would use plagues. Following this, it's probably August 15th, 2013.
When was this uploaded? This was uploaded 2 years ago too.
PvZ2 time. Wait, never mind. May 20th, 2013, Facebook PvZ game. It's traditional tower offense, nobody cares. Okay, now it's August 15th, 2013, and PvZ2 time for realsies. There's been several years worth of a time skip, but luckily we know that during all of that time, all Zomboss has been doing is trying to get the players and Dave's brain during all of it. He's doing all this in the
Isn't it crazy, guys? Plants vs. Zombies went from looking like this to whatever we see right here.
Is trying to get the players
That's
and Dave's brain.
It's kind of wild.
He's doing all this in the middle of the day. Zomboss, all it takes is one act of foul play to burn down their homes. You know, for a guy with a brain larger than Lake Ontario, you sure are a dummy little dumbass.
He is a zombie though, you have to remember that. There might not even be a brain in there.
Then uses it on his taco, and I'm not joking. This taco is so good that he takes his magical flying time traveling recreational vehicle exclusively meant to time travel to go back a few minutes for that.
Hey, I don't know if I might be a little too dated here and I might be a little too old, but you guys remember Magic School Bus? That's what it reminds me of.
Taco. I don't know how that would work. I feel like you would just be like stealing the taco from yourself. And fellas, this taco doomed all of history. By time traveling like this, Crazy Dave has not only fibbed up the space-time continuum, but Zomboss is using his didgeridoo Davy detector and also time travels with the zombies and sprinkles them throughout history. Because time travel is time travel and two separate parties are time traveling.
Okay, I'm not crazy then.
Zomboss most likely
Magic School Bus
after the dawn of time and left some zombs there. Therefore, everything up to this point and everything after is over a taco. I can't believe this is real. I guess what I'm trying to say is taco, time travel, zombies get made, time travel, sprinkle back, paradox. Oh yeah, I'm guessing this also means Zomboss created his ancestors if he made the initial army, and then they actually became his ancestors when doing the time travel stuff, meaning that he's technically creating himself, I guess. Unlike every other zombie, he actually grows up, and the undead don't typically do that. Before the 21st century, he probably would have been considered a demon child, but luckily for him, modern times are more accepting. In fact, he's still basically just a human, but with bad dental, a weird skin condition,
That's crazy.
and an obsession with eating
So he
brains.
is human.
what's
He does
that
have a
about?
brain.
Long story short, if I were to guess,
He's just
one of
ugly.
his parents were freaky, and the other parent was freaky. Ew! Time for a time travel battle. Back to the modern day, the traditional PvZ antics play out until Zomboss drops a taco. This time it has a waffle on it. This satisfies Crazy Dave's need to get another taco, and the universe has been
Taco
saved
with the
once
waffle in
again
it.
as both threats to the space-time continuum have been neutralized thanks to some epic Mexican cuisine with maple syrup on top. China. Depending on where you ask, Plants vs. Zombies is different, especially
What?
in China. They got their own.
So it's just their own cultural characters? That's kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool. It's kind of like Minecraft in China. It looks totally different from the Minecraft we know here in the United States or just around the world, except China. China just has a special version for themselves.
Games, extra content, extra levels, extra plants, some even being crossovers.
Yo, I
It's
low-key wanna
funny, though,
play
the
this.
last time
Is
I
it
talked
banned
about
in the
this series,
United
a lot of
States?
people got mad at me over that. I wouldn't know. I'm not from China, so sorry. This version even got some crossovers, like this one with Subway Surfers. Get out
What?
of here! I don't like you. You're not my friend.
They probably have
You're
a Chinese
gross, you're
version
weird,
of
you're
Subway
ugly, you're
Surfers, too.
smelly, and you wear a hat. All right, you're not welcome here. Go away. Evil Dave. This is Dave's evil brother who is here exclusively to make fun of Crazy Dave. I know a little Chinese, but I'm not gonna attempt translating his iconic catchphrases. This is like if a third Mario brother existed, but only for Irish copies of Mario games. Now, I would argue both sides are morally gray at this point. Zomboss is not only petty, but also jealous and ruining all of history over a science fair. Crazy Dave is the smartest idiot around, and everybody knows that's usually not a good thing. They are both entities of instinct, and I think the rest of the comics and games help to illustrate their respective insanities. Take, for example, the college revenge arc. Zomboss went to zombie college, and he
My
was
guy got a
dick.
whole,
He was tying
varsity
spiders to
jacket
people's
on.
Shoes. He was feeding folks to moon sharks, and he was ableist. Not a good dude. The climax of this includes him stealing a
I mean, look
fetus
at him. He
from
just looks
another
like a villain.
educated zombie. He's awful. Important to note, college grad zombies can talk. For example, when his bullies return to bully, they can speak proper English.
Guys, he's an educated zombie.
In their
Never
revenge,
seen
they
that in my
intend to
life.
revoke his Scientology doctorate and take over Neighborville instead of him, and that is bad, and they all knock it off. Meanwhile, the police have taped off Crazy Dave as he attempts to finish ice cream before it melts. He fails. So he makes flame-resistant ice cream. That is what he's doing. In Grown Sweet Home, the plants are sleepy from Crazy Dave's antics, so they move out and try living alone. So the humans teach the plants how to be functioning adults, and Zomboss, remembering his college days, remembers how to plagiarize by planting cameras in their home, and starts
That's
teaching
crazy.
zombies
Of
how to
course, he would be the type to plagiarize.
human as well. I guess Nate and Patrice don't have parents. They live with plants for the next several weeks. Eventually, both parties are able to successfully blend in, but the plants learn a little bit better, so when they meet up with Zomboss, they run away, but Zomboss goes, "No, we're better," so they have a human off and take a break at 5 o'clock. Meanwhile, Crazy Dave is making spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
He
Magic
fails.
spaghetti?
Working overtime, the
fails.
children sneak in the zombie base for the next day. There's a parade battle.
Guys, I think we need to put Crazy Dave and Zomboss in like a, I don't know, like who's smarter than a 5th grader battle or something
Since
like
Dave
that.
loves parades, they win.
I don't
and
know
I'm not
who's
kidding,
smarter.
This conflict ends when the kids out a few zombies for eating Zomboss's Pop-Tarts, so he has everybody else jump him. And this is when Dr. Zomboss really kicks it into high gear with the absolute peak of his wrath. From February 25th, 2014 to at least February 23rd, 2016, there will be the legendary saga
Garden
of
Warfare.
Garden Warfare. The time
Oh, this is a game that you guys want me to try, right? We might have to try Garden Warfare.
Walking to the plant slowly has ended, my friends. This is war, and only the strongest will survive. Dr. Zomboss recruits some of his top soldiers to lead his armada to victory, while Crazy Dave modifies some of his plants to be even larger and more powerful. In the first
Garden
game,
Warfare
it's pure
2.
Armageddon. Crazy Dave commands his team to regain lost land of Neighborville, while Zomboss builds larger mechs and forts. This is a genuine war with attempted assassinations and tactical nukes. Later on, when the plants start losing and Neighborville is looking more like Zomtown, as Zomboss manages to build numerous Cephaly bases, the Leaf branch of the military, that's cute, asks one plant to come out of retirement. And so, the Corn Man has to get his shit together and join the fight. But I don't know.
They really
why
had
he
someone
has pores.
acting this
is
out.
Upsetting. The comic that
Bro,
goes
that is so cursed.
join the fight. But I don't know why he
That is the most cursed thing I've seen today. What the heck?
has pores. This is upsetting. The comic that goes
Corn
over this
Man
event
is
provides more
crazy.
story. Nate and Patrice
What
come
the
from
heck
the
did I
future
just
to truly
see?
end the fight. This is making the taco situation more confusing. On the contrary, though, Zomboss is using time portals to bring in more
That's not
zombies
real?
through all of history. All the other citizens are
Clearly
invited to an
it
ice cream
is.
cruise ship, so that explains why Dave's the only human in like the Garden Warfare franchise right now. There are two other plants, Rose and Citron, who have their origins revealed. Rose simply came from the past. There's not much to add there, but in the future, a little citrus volunteered for Crazy Dave's Super Soldier project, but Crazy Dave accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Cologne. Thus, Citron was born, and he looks like that. Please stop looking at me like that. Lots of fighting, lots of antics, lots of duels. It's super cool and intense. After hours of intense fighting, the plants are victorious. And what is Dave up to? Well, he's using frogs to close the zombie time portals. Okay. Also,
Is it gonna work?
Gnomes. There's gnomes now. They hate both sides, and they even came from an alternate dimension. You know what that means? PVZ is part of a multiverse. Are you even surprised anymore? Like, genuinely.
Everything.
Every time. It's a multiverse. October 18th, 2016. PVZ Heroes. Somehow Crazy Dave and Zomboss both agreed on temporarily being giant scary floating arms. And Zomboss uses a machine called the Herotron 5000 to turn a bunch of regular zombies into heroes. This misfires and creates the Green Shadow. I don't feel comfortable around pea shooters. Never have, never will. Yeah, this is not helping. With that, the plants get a whole army of heroes, and you get the idea from here. It's just plants go to place, breaking the legs and vital organs of each and every zom they come across. This is actually pretty easy to understand. September 4th, 2019. Battle for Neighborville. War be happening again. In between wars, Crazy Dave has been recognized as a worldwide savior. Despite all the trials and tribulations he's endured, he's saved the world a countless amount of times. He's such an icon, he's a costume in Little Big Planet 3. So
Guys, how many games are there of Plants vs. Zombies? It's kind of crazy how extensive Plants vs. Zombies have gone. There's so many different games, right? There's also like Garden Warfare 2 and stuff.
Basically the next George Washington. So now he has a mansion.
How many games are there?
Now, story-wise, this is very much like the other games. It's more so a collection of larger battles with top soldiers on both sides working to take down the other. Based on previous hints, we can
9
also
games?
confirm that the plants most likely won the previous warfares, trapping most of the zombies until that doesn't happen, and now violence flood again. The gnomes are back. The evil plans revolving around the moon are back. Honestly, it's very formulaic. Zomboss keeps goofing his gunk up. All it would take is some weed killer to stop the plants. All it would take to beat the zombies is some violence. Dr. Zomboss is a net negative for society. I'm shocked he's still alive. The remainder of the comics helps show more of the characters and some of the problems they have. From this point on, the cycle starts to advance and kind of just become repetitive, each issue going from major arcs to one-off stories. The remaining portion of the comic can go virtually anywhere post Garden Warfare 2, and it still makes sense. The next issue
there it is.
Pedal
Garden
to the
Warfare
Metal.
2.
Cars. Nate challenges Zomboss to a race war, but since all the plants were busy racing the zombies, the other ones take over. Humans win when Zomboss slips on a banana peel. Then the kids throw a pizza party. They do this a lot. Also, all Crazy Dave was doing was being the designated driver and playing a game called Don't Blink. This is humanity's savior. Next,
This guy just does whatever he
Zombies want
wants.
to make a cavern base and sink Neighborville by digging all of Earth under it so everything collapses. Oh, but don't worry, this is not going to be an issue. you because Crazy Dave, off screen, won a pet pig named Twister from a singing competition in Guatemala.
Dude, this guy is just doing the most random things and somehow saves the world.
And went on legendary quests through the land finding the Boom Boom Mushroom. It's a nuke. And they all want it. So using Twister's pig smell, they find the bomb and make a trap that ends with Zomboss being trampled by bulls. In Battle Extravaganza, there's a guy who turned red from eating too much of his beet bread, and now he's red. That rhymes. I'm gonna get a water real
Beet
quick.
bread.
Now he's red and he wants to sell his factory. Both parties want it. This is where I remind you, Crazy Dave has proven to be one of the most important people in the world, with connections to real-world governments, and Zomboss has proved to be a threat.
Who is he really?
The government owes Dave this factory. We are officially at the point where this is basically a cartoon with burnout, and they just throw up ideas. Zomboss does some human trafficking for a zombie circus, enforces a famine. Worst of all, he joins a book club that he's actually passionate about, and then freaking Davey shows up and ruins it, so now both sides are trying to get more people in their book club. That's the plot of this one. Truthfully, especially later on, these stories become more one-off-ish and don't amount to that much. It's mostly treated like a weekly scheduled event at this point. There's nothing wrong with that, I just wasn't expecting it. Their relationships have all stagnated to a tragic level of repetition where everyone just does enough to enjoy their lives and not think about what exactly they're doing with themselves. This is the game equivalent of Phineas and Ferb. Zomboss and Doofenshmirtz even have the same voice actor. I think this is especially the point where I reflected upon everything that came before, like an insane genius and a petty dead man doomed all of history with their mere existence. In the PvZ world, these two have forced all of time to endure.
What came first, though? What came first? Was it Phineas and Ferb or Plants vs. Zombies? Who stole the concept? Someone had to start the concept.
Of zombies roaming through history. And for
Yo, this looks fun.
A science fair? The fact that out of billions of years, zombies have literally not only been a threat for all but 30 minutes across all that time, just because of this stuff is a little bit funny. The taco better have cured AIDS, and that science fair prize better have made like the 119th element, because even if that stuff was the case, they would only like balance out the consequences.
Look at them just vibing.
2%? Anyways, war's done. I would argue this is one of those wars where nobody exactly won, but everyone definitely lost. Especially the gnomes. They super
It was like,
lost.
what was the
They're out of
point?
Story now. The zombies have basically retreated to their norm in Neighborville, and though all the land has been regained, we have to rebuild. And that pretty gracefully slides into the time point of January 17th, 2024. Plants vs. Zombies 3. A proper and prepared and beautiful continuation into the classic
hold on.
gameplay.
The gameplay looks so much more smooth now.
Paint that includes plants that don't make me want to say my safe word as much. So get this, Dr. Zomboss remembering every single one of his endless amount of—
Wait, can things like attack
plants that don't make me
vertically now too?
As much.
Look, there was like a line that went both ways.
So get this, Dr. Zomboss
they can attack vertically
every
now?
single one of his endless amount of defeats, remembering all those years he's tried and failed that's amounted to nothing. All those horrible atrocities that have wasted everyone's time.
Wait, Plants vs. Zombies 3 was canceled? Why was it canceled?
After spending an extended period thinking about his life, his actions, his consequences, all of the failures that led to this very moment, he decides to do the unthinkable. It's time to invade Neighborville again.
Again?
You thought
it was over.
No, it's just Plants vs. Zombies. The plants are good, the zombies are bad. I see this more as both sides are running low on materials after a decade of
It looks so much
Xbox
more
Live
cute
profile
now.
pick material. I can see their mitochondria. That's how high definition they are. But yeah, that's my justification for the events going on here. There's not many accessible plants or zombies and stuff. So now we're right back at the start. One Nimrod forcing another into an endless battle with no outcome or change.
It's never gonna end, guys.
In the same place, repeating.
When's Plants vs. Zombies 4?
Own little twists added each time. PvZ's story is the definition of insanity, which fits these two perfectly. Why does anyone live in Neighborville, by the way? A single gun could be the game changer. I'm shocked the zombies have lasted this long. Crazy Dave has military connections. He's simply choosing to prolong this. I see it. Oh, those eyes, they look like mine, actually. As Crazy Dave would always say, gargle, flarb, flarb, and really, that's how I would best describe this tale. Random, but consistent. Just like this franchise, and just like these characters. Well, that's all, folks. I came up with a funny idea today, but here's the deal. If you guys fix this—
yo, shout out to this guy right here. Shout out to Choopo for making this banger of a video. I really appreciate this video, honestly, because I just got into the franchise of Plants vs. Zombies, and this just really opened up my eyes. So I hope you guys enjoy this video as well, and let me know down below in the comments if there's any specific Plants vs. Zombies games that I should try out, or if I should just go through the exact order of the games that came out. So let me know, because the first Plants vs. Zombies game, I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys want me to continue, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.